Hey, everybody, Madeleine here to look at the astrology for September of 2025. And boy, what a dramatic month ahead we have. Business will not be as usual as we have two eclipses. We have other transits too, but I think they're going to be dwarfed by these two big eclipses. We have Mercury moving into the sign of Virgo, which will really sharpen our minds. Will be in its exaltation in the sign of Mercury. And then we have Venus going out of Leo into the sign of Virgo, where it is more in debilitation. Well, I'll go into all 12 signs for these. And then we also have Mars moving into Scorpio. So, but I think those transits are not going to be as felt as loud as the eclipses are. We have the two eclipses. The first one is going to be in the sign of Pisces at 15 degrees 22 on the 7th of September. It is the exact same eclipse that we had on that day, same day, 2006. And then we have a second new moon lunar eclipse. The first one is a full moon solar eclipse. This is going to be a new moon solar, sorry, full moon lunar. This is new moon solar on the 21st of September in the sign of Virgo at 29 degrees. So I'm going to go into all the 12 signs for each of these transits, mostly focusing on the eclipses, of course. Now, let's go ahead and look at the first eclipse. I'm going to go ahead and share the chart. I'm outside by the lake enjoying a lovely day outside. I couldn't be inside. Now, this eclipse looks really nice. I don't know if the one in 2006 had the same blessings. I have to go back and look at it, but this promises to be quite a nice eclipse because Jupiter is ruling Pisces. And the North Node is right there, and Jupiter is trining the nodes. And this is like a very auspicious part of the sky. It's also a very spiritual part of the sky. Um, so when Jupiter is making such a favorable aspect to a lunation, it's basically showing us a higher elevated perspective because Jupiter wants to expand our life, wants us to expand our life into the direction of our Dharma, because when we walk our Dharma, we're serving humanity in the way that we were designed to serve humanity. So Jupiter is blessing this eclipse with clarity of purpose and a reinvigoration of faith in the path. And we're with the North Node in Pisces and the South Node in Virgo, we're clearing sort of our soul's debris, our mental debris that blocks us from our soul's knowing. And we're really following some sort of not such a clear path because the North Node and the sign of Pisces is also ruled by Neptune, which happens to be very close and also making a very positive aspect in this eclipse, which also blesses it. But this journey with the North Node in Pisces is aligning us with our true soul's essence and to walk a life where our soul's desire, where we're feeding and nurturing the soul, not the material. It is a big eclipse of releasing because the South Node being in Virgo and full moons are big revelations and show us what we need to let go of. So it can be really challenging sometimes. If it's a relationship that needs to be let go of, it can be very, very painful. But this month will be charged with intense energies and heightened emotions and sudden twists of fate and passions and power plays, because we do have Venus in Leo, so that kind of heightens the passionate energy of this month, of course. But the eclipse will so eclipses basically end things and bring things. Eclipses something out and invite something in new. Eclipses, you see, there's Jupiter in its exaltation, by the way, which is a really good blessing for this eclipse, which makes it extremely abundant. Honestly, the more you let go and flow during this eclipse, the less struggle, trust that it's going to take us somewhere really good. Because here is Jupiter making a beautiful angle to this eclipse. Look at that. It's trining the North Node in the moon. It's a full moon lunar eclipse with Jupiter trining it like a big light saying, this is your Dharma, this is the way to go, this is what you're made for, this will nurture your soul. Leave anything behind that isn't your authentic part of your authentic path and your authentic soul's purpose. So it can come with challenges, but these are really beautiful angles. So I'm going to say we're relieved to let these things go. We're relieved to end these chapters. We're relieved to release this noise in our life. So we're basically clearing a path that takes us in a direction that truly nourishes our soul more and puts us in our true dharmic destiny, because the two things coincide, of course. All right. So that is the first eclipse. I'm going to go into all 12 signs about that. And now let's look at how beautiful that kite goes to the eclipse. So here it is. We're at the tail of the eclipse. So basically, this is untangling that big knot because it's happening at the end degree point of Pisces, or shall we say, it's opposing Saturn at that end degree point, and it's even in the shape of a kite. And here we are with the kite on the material realm, because Virgo um, the Virgo Pisces axis is all about the spiritual versus the material, right? And the practical versus the impractical. So we're going to have this kite configuration blessing us as we let something major go that releases the kite, that releases us from our karmic entanglement. So this is like the final, shall we say, it wouldn't be final because we do have the South Node continuing in Virgo, but this being the eclipse there makes it a big release of something final because it's at 29 degrees. So it's really the end of something. So we're really wrapping an old pattern, an old cycle. Our day-to-day routines are going to completely change. Our health decisions or choices are going to change. We're going to make much more soulful aligned decisions that will improve our health. We're spiritually releasing ourselves from old paradigms and old thinkings and old thoughts, and we're changing them because we're at the end degree point and Saturn is there. So Saturn is telling us, look, we have to devote to something seriously. We have to put all our eggs in this basket and devote to it and treat it like it's a long-term thing, because we have to align with something here that Saturn wants us to align with, but at the same time, we have to release whatever's not a part of that. And we've cleared our karmic behaviors that are causing these patterns. And so, it's like we're untangling ourselves from that karmic knot in order to begin something new that really takes us a whole new cycle, a whole new 29-year cycle. So we're really headed in a new direction here, obviously very big. Now, Jupiter again is making, and again, a very positive aspect to this eclipse. So I think these eclipses are very abundant and very auspicious for everybody. So I'm excited to go through all the 12 signs. All right. I will see you there. All right. Hey, Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising. These eclipses are happening in your 4th and in your 10th house. The first eclipse on the 7th is going to be in your 4th house. So expect, turbulent drama in the issues of family, home, property, real estate, your security. It's basically an eclipse in the 4th house brings emotional, stressful revelations about your living situation, family relationships, inner security, home. Something that once felt stable now feels slightly shaky. And also something is shifting here in your 4th house, which is urging you to create a new definition of home and family. And it's not just about your physical comfort. It's about a home and family that merges with your soul. And it's what you really want to build, what really is and this is going to involve your dharmic, your calling. And this puts you on the path because the North Node is there in your 4th house for the rest of the year, which is going to bring you into a focus there in your 4th house, and your destiny being very much connected to your living home, property, family, real estate, property development. So then the other thing is you could suddenly have to relocate or move, and it could be because of the 10th house eclipse coming up next, where you have a job, and so you have to relocate. Um, so yeah, that's why these houses are connected like that. So you could also just start a new family. You could get pregnant, family, new child, or get married. You just create a new family in some way. You move into a home with a partner, or vice versa. Basically, your life during this eclipse, your home life is center stage for sure. So also, selling a property could happen. A property could, if you've had a property on the market, we have Jupiter in exaltation. Saturn is in the story here in Pisces in retrograde. So you are clearing some sort of karmic family, I would say a family ancestral wounding and insecurity or some kind of fear, mother sourced issue there in that fourth house showing up, and having you feel insecure in some way and stress and tension. That's what eclipses do. They show up these undercurrent things that are really hindering our advancements and not stopping us from living in our truly the life we truly want to desire, that the life we truly desire to live. And this is a fourth house eclipse, which is moksha, which means it's liberating you. So whatever you do have to give up here and let go of, because this is a fourth house, this fourth house eclipse, usually the eclipse is an end of one cycle and the beginning of a new cycle. So you're saying bye-bye to something. So you want to release that. It could sometimes be an eclipse in your fourth house. You get divorced, you leave your family, and your family disintegrates, or your children grow up and leave the nest. And that's sad. But the universe wants to align you with something that is more soul fitting for you. So, so yeah, expect family dynamics and family drama. That's very much something that can happen. You could get into a big conflict with your mother and you end relationship with a family member or mother. But there is this eclipse will bring you to because this is a fourth house eclipse, it's going to bring you to your true home and your true family. So if you're not in the right one, then it's going to shake. It's going to come down. So also, you may find that you want to yeah, sorry, I just read a note here. Some of these problems that occur in your family are truths and communications coming, discovering things that have not been told before. So that's just, a story that can happen in eclipses. So really what you're doing is you're spiritually cleansing your home also. This is a good time for decluttering. You're spiritually cleansing your past, your family karma with that Saturn retrograde in your fourth. And you're reflecting on your part in it in this eclipse because Saturn is in the story here. So you're reflecting on your part of your family drama or family karma and how you can stop that cycle. So yeah, so like I say, truths are unsaid. There's discoveries and drama, potential drama. So, but it's a time to declutter your home, right? You're literally like physically declutter your home and also declutter your family. Like perhaps there's family members in your life that are just cluttering up your life and creating noise. All right, so now let's go to, I also want to remind you that this eclipse is ruled by your Jupiter, your ruling planet. So this is a great eclipse. This is very, very good luck for you. Very auspicious new beginnings happens in this house, the fourth house. You move, you find a new family, you find a new home, you sell a piece of real estate, you make a lot of money off of it. Jupiter's in exaltation, blessing your sign and also rules the fourth house here for you. So this is extremely potentially auspicious if you're selling a property or real estate. What else? If you're buying, a lot of good luck happening here for you. So that's nothing. Remember, anything that goes away is to leave room for something much more soulfully nourishing that nourishes you. A living situation that nourishes your home, that is really right for you. All right, so now we're going to look at the second eclipse, which is on the 21st in the sign of Virgo, which is going to be in your 10th house of career. So this is why oftentimes you see these moves as impacting your career house. So you could be releasing an old career, an old like whatever level you're at, you could change. So basically, a 10th house eclipse is career heats up and you become more visible and your leadership positions can show up for you that you take. But again, you're also with that South Node there, you're also releasing a career or another position and something that was stressful and busy. And now you're going to focus more on, because you're clearing that 10th house of clutter, noise, busyness, and you're ready for a brand new start here in your 10th house. And So this is so this eclipse in your 10th house is about you becoming seen more and achieving something more, achieving something big and or at least initiating the project to begin something really big. And with that Saturn on the second eclipse, it's opposing it in your fourth, there may be a block for this new beginning, but it's initiating enough that you can see that it is actually happening and does bring you long-term potential of financial success and stability. So yeah, there could be stresses and tension in the workplace. There could be conflicts with your boss and you quit. And then you do line up with something that's much more in alignment for you. We want to be careful not to quit too quickly without having an alternate position somewhere, which this eclipse will definitely bring you. And remember, all of these eclipses, they have to hit a planet for you in that house. You have to have something within about 5 degrees. So, but you may feel it also in general, but not as stronger, depends on if you have a planet there. So yeah, so there's going to be potential conflicts in your work, but you may decide that you want to quit and then you align with, you find a better, or you decide to go ahead and take the courage to align with your true soul's aligned purpose and you want to build a new career or reshape your career in a way that fits you, that makes your life worth living, the life you want to live, basically. So anyway, so yes, you want to ask your soul during this eclipse, is this work aligning with my true soul, with my true calling? Because that's what we're stepping into with these big new cycles starting at, Saturn in Aries, 29-year new cycle. It's going to go back into Aries soon in your third house. So you're probably starting a new business of some sort or a project of communication. And Saturn in retrograde is making sure you have clarity and reflect on what you really want to do, what you really want to build here for this new cycle. That's why it's slowing things down and blocking things. It's making sure you have that clarity. So yes. And and also this is going to shift your motive, like with this eclipse in your 10th, because it's in Virgo, you're going to really shift to being more of service. You're going to let go of ego-based attachments to title or prestige or your position. And you're going to be more concerned with really showing up and being of practical use and practical service here. And so yeah, so we're looking at a powerful career move can happen now. So yeah, this is a big eclipse for you as long as it's hitting something, if you have your MC there, for sure. So and your real influence does grow when you lead with purpose, in fact, your energy, this is an internal eclipse with that Saturn retrograde, and 10th house is definitely a Saturn vibe, where you're really reevaluating your motive and you want to do something that's meaningful. So you really do find a purpose or find a important humanitarian, it could be volunteering if you don't need to earn money, but there's some sort of high service. And when you walk a path of high service, it is the best way to build good karma. So your influence grows and you, if you step up and lead with purpose, you will succeed. In other words, try to serve, go from the motivation to serve rather than to impress, basically, or to get ahead in your career. So yes, big shifts in your career, your leadership roles change. You're being guided, like I say, to align with your soul purpose. And the other things that are happening here, we've got that Leo. Leo is in where is Leo? So Venus is in Leo in your 9th house. So you could be on a passionate travel. You could meet somebody, a partner. Jupiter is in its exaltation, which means your ruling planet is shining brightly on you. So it might be a good time that you initiate a new relationship. You meet someone traveling, or your true person is a person of a different culture. But this eclipse most likely brings a relationship be, you've got Uranus in your seventh house, so things are really going to be happening in your relationships for the next 8 years. So there's lots of shifts and things, changes happening in your life and in the life of your relationship partner. So with Venus in your ninth, sometimes that is a later in life partnership, but there is some sort of, and it can also be a travel assignment with your divine mate, but some sort of, it could also just be career and work and travel, or you become that can be teaching. So then the Mercury is going to be in your 10th house. You're going to have all that stellium all month, that Mercury stellium. So you're bright. Your mind is going to be very bright, very sharp, really on top of things. Probably working hard on your taxes or working hard on paperwork or detailed oriented. You're going to be very focused and busy for the month of September with these big changes, perhaps some sort of a crisis, that occurs in that fourth house, or just that shift, that move brings you a lot of paperwork. You're filling out contracts, you're signing what are you signing? You're signing contracts for work, like real estate contracts or job contracts or what resume, filling out applications is the word I'm looking for. So hang in there for this month. It does depend on your own chart, how bumpy this is, but 4th and 10th is a big shakeup in your living and in your work. But again, it aligns you with your true life that nourishes your soul. If you would like a personal reading, feel free to book at soullevels.com or email me at madelaine.parker111@gmail.com if you would like to be added to my monthly astro email list. Have a wonderful month. Stay safe. Namaste.